what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at one of my special filming spot locations because guess what? We have that redesigned version of a legend. What am I talking about? This vehicle right here. This is the all-new redesigned 2025 Toyota 4Runner. This particular one, on top of it having a new look, is also a totally new trim known as the Trailhunter. But before we get into this off-road, on-road, overlanding SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So the 4Runner, it's been in Toyota's lineup for years, and it really is a Japanese icon. That bulletproof platform, really rugged, and sitting on that box frame chassis. Now, with this redesign, you're still gonna get that TNGA box frame chassis, the same chassis that the Toyota Tacoma sits on, but you're now getting a new look, new technology, new trims, and new powertrains. Now, a lot of people are still on the fence, especially the die-hard 4Runner fans, because the bulletproof V6 is gone. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for that kind of go anywhere, do everything SUV, do you go with this Trailhunter? Let's go ahead, let's dive in and see if it's worth the money. Right off the bat, new color specific to the Trailhunter. It's called Everest. And it really is this cool shade of green. And I'm so happy to see these types of colors because green used to be everywhere. Then it disappeared. Now it's back, and it's really, really creative way. You'll notice the metal flake within that silverish green shade known as Everest. All new headlight design, LED daytime running lamps, LED turn signals. You'll notice on the Trailhunter, you're gonna get extra large. It's actually larger fender flares than on the TRD Pro, and I like the way they're flat black, unlike the gloss black on the TRD Pro. Now, working our way down, that body color, that Everest, you do have the Trailhunter badge within the headlight housing. And I like the way they sculpted this lower corner area. Really allows you to have some nice ground clearance. Now, it sits on Old Man Emu shocks, all four corners, 2.5-inch shock absorbers, forged shocks with the remote reservoirs. And of course, you're gonna get all the skid plates underneath to protect this belly of this beast. Now, as we come across the front grille, I like the way they did the heritage layout with the Toyota name in that bronze color. You do have a forward-facing camera. And then working our way down, you do have more functionality in this lower area here. LED lighting. Now, these only come on when the brights are on, but you are getting Rigid Industries LED lighting as well. Now, I like the way they sculpted the lower bumper area to give you a good approach angle. And then you'll notice underneath those metal skid plates, lots of ground clearance. You're looking at about 10 inches of ground clearance underneath this thing. And the fact that with the Old Man Emu suspension, you're gonna get lots of good wheel travel. And of course, we have 4x4 action with power going to all four wheels. But let me know what you think about the face of this new 4Runner. Now, as we rise up, I love the hood. Clean indentations, like on the Tacoma. We come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire. So you're gonna get specific wheels for the Trailhunter. Nice, sort of like a copper bronze finish. Love the Toyota Heritage badge. 33-inch open country Toyo tires with all the shielding on the sidewall. And if you're wondering, well, what's the size of this wheel, Joe? Like I said, 18-inch wheel, 33-inch tire. Tires are 265 on the width, beefy 70 series sidewall. And then I have Steven kind of swing in so he could show off that forged aluminum upper control arm with the Trailhunter badge. And then you'll notice on the side here, there's that steel box frame. And even, I don't know if he can get a little bit more down low, that lower control arm, nice and beefy. That's gonna take a good beating as you're doing your off-roading, as you're doing all of your overlanding. That seems to be a new, well, it's not a new thing, but ever since the pandemic in 2020, overlanding has been something that has grown leaps and bounds in popularity. And of course, Toyota's trying to take a bite out of that apple. But let me know what you think about the wheels, especially with the Everest Green. I think it's perfect. Coming down the side, you got your iForce Max badge. This is one of those big talking points. You do have a built-in snorkel, allows you to go water fording, and you don't have to worry about sucking water into the intake. I like the way it's all flat black on your mirror caps, 360-degree cameras. From the side of the vehicle, I'm digging the overall dimensions. It still fits the attitude of a 4Runner. Now up top, you are gonna get that ARB platform for all your gear, your accessories, and then flat black on the door handles. Of course, you got the Trailhunter badge. Really like the way they did the design with that. And then all the way on the lower portion, you're getting those beefy ARB frame sliders to protect that lower portion of the body from rocks. This thing could rock crawl. You got all sorts of hill descent control, the whole 9 yards, crawl control to allow you to get through just about anything. Now coming down the side, quarter glass, nice big size. The Trailhunter is not available as a 3-row. The lower trims, like the SR5, you can add an extra row. This you cannot. Now swinging around the back, just like up front, they did a great job with the lighting. Really like the way they shrunk all the housings down. You do have a nice size roof spoiler that looks just like the previous gen with your wiper tucked underneath. Glass does go up and down, flat black. Like I said, on a TRD Pro, all this is gloss black. I like the flat black. You got your iForce Max badge, the 4Runner name. You got your little Trailhunter compass badge. And then working our way down to ground level, you have a full-size spare mounted high underneath. You do have your tow recovery hooks, and you have the ability to tow with this thing. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about power from that new engine. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. I am gonna zonk the fact that there's no actual hood struts. You got just a prop rod. I do like the fact you're getting that custom air box for the Trailhunter with our snorkel attached. And then of course, there's the big talking point, or at least one of the two big talking points. What do we have? No V6. It's a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4 paired with the electric motor. That's why it's called the iForce Max. The great news is you're getting more power. 323 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It uses a 1.9 kilowatt nickel metal hydride battery pack. 0 to 60 in the heavier Trailhunter is 7.4 seconds. The vehicle does weigh 5,586 pounds, but guess what? Can tow up to 6,000 pounds. That's actually more towing capacity than the previous generation. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this up and see it move. All right, guys, we're inside this all-new Trailhunter trim of the 4Runner, which is also redesigned. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm the type of person that usually if I buy a vehicle, I like to get one of the top trims. But I have noticed that the trims for the 4Runner are quite pricey. Will I be shocked when I hear this one? Probably not if you already know that they're pricey. But if you haven't heard the price of a new 4Runner lately, you might want to take a seat for this one. MSRP, the way it's spec'd, is right at $70,000. Yeah, $70,000. Quite a bit of money. But let's see what you get when you go Trailhunter. To the door panels. I like the two-tone. The soft touch up top, that gray with the bright sort of goldish bronze stitching. No gloss black. You do have the Trailhunter badge on the side. Our off-road Twinkie tray, 6 Twinkies, no problem. And then you could put 3 bottles of your favorite pop down there, or soda, whatever you call it where you live. JBL sound system. And then going from the door panel to the dash, we got the Heritage badge, more of that gray with the stitching, nice soft touch. You have a place here, this is where you could put your pickles in a bag. You go to 7-Eleven, you get your pickle in a bag, get like 8 of them in there. They're a good way to hydrate, is drink pickle juice. Do that, you got a nice wireless speaker, Bluetooth, locks into the dash. 14-inch infotainment system. It's the same multimedia software we've been showing you for the past couple years. You can set up your different driver profiles, all those goodies. Let me throw it into reverse. Here's all our great cameras. Super clear. You got your off-road cam with pitch and roll, every which angle. I mean, think about how much more could have been done with landing on the moon if we had all these cameras back then in 1969. Would have been a breeze. And then of course, out the front, there we are, doing the 360 look around. I just wish it was Everscreen. Wonder if we could change that. Yay, look at that. Ask and you shall receive. That's how I am. If you need something, if you ask nice enough, maybe you'll get it. And then we're right back where we started. Technically, this is where we started. 80s on 8, baby. All day long. Working your way down, you do have a real volume knob. You got your dual climate control, 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, all your toggle switches, heated steering wheel. Down below, you got wireless charging, 2 USB-Cs, a 12-volt, a place where you can put 2 Egg McMuffins. You do have this shifter for your 8-speed automatic, mode selector knob. There's your hill descent control, your crawl control. You could lock the rear diff, and you could electronically uncouple the stabilizer bars. So you could detach those electronically to give you more wheel travel. Down below, you got 2 nice cup holders. Well, actually, I don't love. I don't know where I was going with that. I do like the way it has the name 4Runner, but Toyota needs to update their key fobs. I mean, for $70,000, give me a rugged key fob, because this isn't it. Soft touch with the stitching, lift it up. A little bit of felt lining. I would say you could probably put maybe 8 to 9 poly pockets. My sister used to love poly pockets growing up, and I remember I used to be a jerk. I used to hide them on her. Another thing my sisters love were their glowworms. I used to hide those too. Say, I don't know where they went. That's what older brothers are supposed to do. Seats, the soft touch, the stitching, the piping, nice design, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. I don't think you're gonna like this one. No sunroof, no panoramic sunroof, no sunroof. There's not even a porthole. There's no periscope, nothing, just headliner. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this Trailhunter. All right guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. We got our seat controls, easy to get to. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here, and I love the quality of the seat, the way it's shaped, the material. It feels really good. What I don't like is you get a plain Jane steering wheel. Now, when you get a TRD Pro, you get the TRD Pro badge. There's no Trailhunter badge. And I wish that they would put the Toyota Heritage name here, not just the Toyota badge, so to speak. Flat black on the switchgear. It is a tilting and telescoping wheel. You do have your auxiliary switches, so you can get extra lighting, a big air horn, maybe a winch. And then you do have your 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. I can scroll through the modes, sport, normal, and eco. I think that's all you need for this type of vehicle. Plus, you can display information that you want. You have choices, just like you have choices in life. Maybe you make the right choices, maybe you make the wrong choices. You have choices nonetheless. No head-up display, which is for 70 grand. Come on. But let's get into the back seat and see if the 4Runner Trailhunter was meant for you. All right, guys, because this is a 2-row and not a forced 3-row, you get a lot of great room in here. You really do. Large pockets. You can put the snacks in there, maybe some chips, some dip, some pretzels, maybe some combos. I used to love combos. I could destroy a bag of combos in lickety-split, and I would eat so many of them that it would make the inside of my mouth raw, because I'd usually have like the pizza flavored, and I would just destroy them. Back of the little command center. You do have your AC vents, 2 USB-Cs, and a home power source. Seats are comfy. I like the way you have the soft touch here. The oh crap handle. Let's see if they recline any. They recline quite a bit. They don't slide though. So no sliding, but they do recline. And you have a nicely padded armrest with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into that back area and see how much stuff you could put back there for your next camping trip. All right guys, cargo area time, of course. You hit the button, nice electric assist. I do like the way the bumper is on the lower side for a vehicle like this. But then once you get, you're gonna have to go up and over to get into the cargo space area. Now, you're looking at 42.6 cubic feet of space. The rear seats do fold down 60-40 split to give you almost 80 cubic feet of space. There's even some storage underneath, which is nice. This is where I would put all the boxes of ho-hos, ding-dongs, Twinkies, all those different things. And then a little gym bag. This one is special for Steven. No, if you're wondering what is this, it says compressor kit. This does have the built-in air compressor. So you can air up, air down. Maybe you can inflate some water toys for the kids, some rafts, everything right there. You do have a home power source, which is nice. And then even though you can't get this as a third row, they do leave the cubbies here. So you could, you know, get the rations. Let's say, you know, you're one of those people that is a doomsday prepper. You could put all of your old rations in there. They last like 30 years. Put it in here so that when the stuff hits the fan, so to speak, you could just hit the open trail and disappear. But what I want to do is I don't want to disappear, at least not right now. I want to go for a little spin and go on throttle and see how this new Trailhunter 4Runner does it on the road. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2025 Toyota 4Runner Trailhunter trim. And right away, you're gonna love the interior. The interior, hands down, is so much nicer than the previous generation. And with the way the colors are, and all of the amenities, it's gonna pamper you like a baby. Now, what is also great is that you have already from the factory the old man EMU suspension. You have that ARB cargo platform up top, and you also have the frame sliders already from the factory. I mean, this thing is turnkey, ready to rock and roll, and allows you to have confidence knowing that you'll be able to do and go just about anywhere. Now, one thing to take into consideration is that you will hear some sound coming from the snorkel. It is interesting because you can actually hear it suck the air down into the air box. So just something to be aware of. I kind of think it sounds great, but it may annoy you. I know some other auto journalists, it annoyed them, but for me, it doesn't bother me one bit. Love having the digital rear view mirror, and the fact that everything is within fingertip reach, whether it's the wireless charging, the storage areas, the USBs, USB-Cs, everything. Nicely laid out here, as you would come to expect from Toyota. Now, going down the road, the suspension travel is nice. It's not bouncy, it's not floaty. You are getting some road noise from those 33-inch off-road tires, but nothing too crazy, which is good. And visibility out front is fantastic. They did a great job pulling the A-pillars apart, nice and wide, so you can have a clear view of what's up ahead. And then the fact that when it comes to camera technology, you have the great cameras here especially the off-road style camera. I mean, that really allows you to see exactly what's in front of you so that you don't damage. Because it's one thing to go off-roading and enjoy your 4Runner Trailhunter, but it's another thing to go off-roading it and like rip off the front bumper. Nobody wants to do that. So this will help you from damaging the vehicle, being able to see clearly what's in front of you. The only zonk that I have really for the cameras is that there's no washers on any of them. So that's a little bit of a bummer, especially if you start flinging mud all over the place. Or if somebody's in front of you and flings mud on you. That's another problem. But I think you're going to be very impressed with how this 4Runner accelerates. Because of the electric motor, you have that instant torque, and then paired with the 2.4 liter turbo and this 8-speed automatic, it does a really good job of generating horsepower, and you do have, like I said, more towing capacity. Of course, with the engine turning on and off, you're not going to hear a lot of that because Toyota just really knows their hybrid systems very, very well. On throttle, here we go. I do have it in sport mode, and the 8-speed automatic is paired very, very well with this vehicle. I think you're going to find that the shifts are good. It always seems to be in the right spot when it comes to the torque delivery and everything. And the suspension is just really nice. This old man Emu suspension is really, really good. I don't know if you could hear that snorkel sucking in the air, but it just, I don't know, it sounds cool. It does sound cool. There is sound that is pumped in through the JBL sound system, but it's nothing too obnoxious, which is good. And then having, you know, your mode selector, your switch gear to disengage the stabilizer bars, to lock the rear diff, everything is within fingertip reach. And with something like this, you're going to, like I said, be able to go places where other people cannot very easily. But driving down the road, it's very comfortable. You got plenty of room for the backseat passengers. And I like the way that the hood, it really gives you some good visual reference points of where you're at in your lane or where you are on a trail. And then of course you have the capability easy to go from 2 high to 4 high to 4 low with your 4x4 system. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what Toyota's bringing with this 4Runner Trailhunter. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'm going to see you in a split second. All right, guys. What can I say? It's always a great day to be able to feature new vehicles with you. Definitely got to thank everybody at Toyota USA for getting us access to this Presley vehicle. Let me know what you think. Everest on the new Trailhunter. Is it worth the money at the end of the day? And is this the one to buy? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Gotta get up to Stephen Flood. He's got some special shows coming up. Make sure you check out his calendar because he's got some opportunities that he's gonna be doing that's just gonna wow and amaze people, including yours truly. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.